It's Magic 102.3, 92.7 DMV's home for R&B. DJ in the midday, Vic Jagger. I'm trying to contain my excitement, but when you have two queens, two icons, two of the funniest, most fabulous women to ever grace our TV screens in the building today, you just can't contain your excitement. Kim Coles and Erika Alexander, good morning.
Thank you, Vic, for having us.
Vic Jagger. Hey,
Yes.
so happy to be here.
I'm so happy that you ladies are here, and I was going to break out "We Are Living" just to kind of give you an intro.
Come on.
Come on, in unison.
Yes.
And on key. Reliving Single. Now, congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank
You're breaking the internet. Yes, I
Come
will
on.
say that
Come on
y'all breaking the internet. The episode that I have been seeing a lot of people feel it was so heartfelt and nostalgic for people to see the emotional connection that you all still have with cast members on the show, but specifically T.C. Carson and that moment, which went viral with over 1 million views.
What?
Okay. Kim, why are you acting like?
Well, I didn't know the number.
You
I
didn't know?
hadn't looked at the number. So
What? So that was a real reaction.
Well, I know that it went viral, but I didn't know what the number was. So the number doesn't matter. The fact that people are connected to it.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
She's busy working hard.
I was about to say booked and busy.
Come
She
on,
like, I just put the content.
we need
the
to
content
meet.
is out.
Yes.
But did y'all expect so much buzz so soon with this new project? Especially now that you've been having viral moments. Did y'all expect for it to be as big as it is?
In a word, you want to say at the same time? Yes. Yes. If Living Single had such a pulse and people love Living Single as much as they have and had and will continue to do so, why not a Reliving Single podcast where we get a chance to rewatch every episode with our friends and family. We're doing, as Erika always likes to say, we're doing little mini master classes every week. Why wouldn't it resonate with people? So I knew it was gonna. That's why I said I don't know. I didn't care what the number was. I knew that it would touch the hearts of people and fill a void. I said this to you before. My favorite comment that I see below our YouTube channel is that this is the show I didn't even know I needed. And so, I knew, of course, it was going to work.
Yeah, which is different from the original show where I never thought about whether the show would work or not. I was just there as a hired gun, whereas Kim, in at least, I guess, being consistent, always thought then that even that one would be a hit.
Oh, I knew
you were
that
right.
Our chemistry was so incredible that I knew it would resonate with someone.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure that this audience would just eat it up. This audience meaning everyone who came to watch the show.
And it was lightning in a bottle for the chemistry with all of your characters. And you guys have really become those characters. And that speaks to the brilliance that you have put on our television screens. Do you guys ever get, before this podcast idea and everything came about, did y'all start to get annoyed that, people would always refer back to Sinclair or Max? Because we have seen some, 90s stars who don't like to be called their character names. They don't like to be reminded all of the time. How was that for you guys, for you ladies?
I was fine with it. I mean, I really love Max. I think she's wonderful. And you talk about the chemistry. Chemistry is what we've sort of anchored this Reliving Single podcast to, the fact that there was something that was extraordinary, that maybe had nothing to do with what we could do individually, but together. It's like, as you say, lightning in a bottle. And I don't know if we became the characters. I think the characters became us. And there's a marriage inside of there where we don't know what the characters are. We're meeting them at the same time you are. And we're bringing our full selves. And then suddenly people get to know who they are through our performance, and that's where the blurring of lines goes. So I never minded, because to me, Max is not unlike who I am. In fact, I'm sure I was cast partly because they saw that within me. But I didn't know who she was. I certainly didn't know who Yvette Lee Bowser was. I was playing something that was already there the best way I could until I learned more about who she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those signature moments that you both have had, because with Sinclair, it's always woo, 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 woo. And Max, the big, line that I always remember is like, don't touch me unless you want to get burned.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And so it's something that is still with us. Was it the same for you?
Well, yes. So I always love to keep woo woo woo. Woo 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 belongs to all of us, because woo 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 is something that my mother used to say to me and my baby brother. So when words would fail, or if you fell down and hurt yourself, or something was awry, or if you just needed some boosting, she would go, oh, woo woo woo, sweetie, woo woo woo. And it means I love you, I see you, I acknowledge you, I got you. And so when I ad-libbed that on the set of Living Single one time, I got what, for at least for a comedian, is the holy grail of sitcom world, is your own sitcom catchphrase. I mean, dynamite or any of those, or, the Fonz going, hey, to have that catchphrase is beautiful, but it still belongs to me. So I don't have to separate Sinclair from me in that respect. And I've always had respect for that. If you resonated with these characters, and people go, oh my God, there goes Sinclair. And I go, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Kim Coles. I know your name is Kim Coles, but you always be Sinclair to me. I can't help, I'll be Sinclair until I'm 953 years old. And what we both have in common is that we've both gone on to do other projects, other characters, other things, so that we have more than just this one. I call it the sparkling jewel of my career. But if this is where you remember me, where you were at a time in your life that you needed to laugh, or you needed to see beautiful Black women and gorgeous Black men striving for something, or becoming something, or learning to become something, or not being able to figure it out, if that's part of your DNA now, to use your term, if that's now part of your DNA, how could I not do anything but respect that and love that? And I also understand performers going, stop calling me that. Or don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, or whatever it is. I also
call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. No one's ever said it that way.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, if I was Danny Glover, don't call me Mister. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm like, hey,
But we are multifaceted performers and characters, and we have much to say, much to do.
And don't call Michael Evans Michael Evans.
Do not.
That part.
And don't call.
his name is not Michael.
It really is not Michael Evans.
And
JJ did not like necessarily being called JJ.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker. But that's close.
Don't tell him to say. Don't say dynamite.
Bernadette Stannis. I don't think she ever minded being called Thelma. I met her. They were all
lovely.
very
Oh,
lovely,
she's
by the
lovely.
way.
Yeah.
The ones when I met them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So let's talk about Living Single, and take us back to the 90s when you guys first hit the set. I saw, how when you're on social media and you see a lot of clips and throwbacks, and sometimes people will say, oh, this entire scene was improvised, and it's like, was it really, or do y'all know that for sure? But as you said, Kim, sometimes you ad lib and you put things together. Can you remember one specific scene where it was just kind of improv and everybody just got on the same page and kept it moving?
I think the scene most people talk about is the one where Kim Fields was wearing sort of a dashiki, or very African looking garb.
Yeah.
That really happened, and then they put that in the show. So it happened that she came to work one day dressed in, I think actually in the same outfit. They borrowed it for the set, for the show, and we all were like, oh, like that really happened, and the producers were like, oh, we love that. Can we let that be the cold open for the show?
Yeah.
And so it was then formulated and structured so that she would walk, past us, and we would all individually start this sort of African call, dance or whatever we were doing. That was real. That was ad-libbed, and that was that happened. That happened just
But
that way.
most of the stuff is written.
Yeah.
What you're looking at is the performances are improved inside of our reactions, what we give back, how we can, extend things that we, if you're listening and you're settled in, that you can, I don't know, when somebody like builds something and you can take advantage of or build on.
Build on something.
That's something that.
The foundation was there.
The foundation.
Well, the
on
writing
page.
is there. It's on the page.
Yeah.
But you also have to stay, in the scene and also not trying to. It's a weird thing. You're in a comedy, and part of comedy is to be noticed is broad. Like you have to stand out. But when you're an ensemble, you have to know that there's a flow. And Kim Fields calls it pulling focus. You're not supposed to pull focus when it's somebody else's thing to do. And it's not theirs. It's if they do their thing right, it reflects well on you. So you want to stand back and as you say, let them cook.
Let them cook.
But when it's time, you got to be there to do your thing, and it could just be in a look. And that's the real beauty and magic of, I think, what happens the most in ensemble comedies.
And there's also something I want to say. There's something I always laud you for, and give delight to in the way that you deliver. So, on the page was, when I say ride the Maverick, I mean it. That was on the page. Yeah. I'm certain that the sitcom way to say it is, when I say ride the Maverick, I mean it. No, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how a politician talks.
Yeah.
This one gets a hold of it, and what do you do, Erika?
When I say ride the Maverick, I mean it. Now, it's just...
So
it was.
I mean it. No. I mean it. It became a completely, I remember rehearsing that and going, oh my God, that's genius. So it's taking what's on the page and even taking what's expected and then turning it on its head and creating something brand new that will last for all.
And I remember the episode and at the time was having, back and forth with the guest director. He's driving us crazy. He wanted us to rehearse over and over again like we were children. And I think it was his nerves and anxiety. And I thought, I want to do this over and over again. So, it was something that, at the time, I hadn't really challenged authority like that. But since I was the A story, I was like, I'm not going to do that again. Oh, no, we're going to run it before the network comes in. And this is after we ran it all day. And I said, no, we're not. And he said, yes, we are. And I said, no, we are not. And I got up and walked to my trailer.
I don't remember that.
You weren't there. It was Latifah and I were on the couch, and we'd finished the run through, and he was sort of just saying, and everybody had gone.
Do it again.
He was telling me, and I was like, no, we're not, because what you're doing is you're gonna take all the spontaneity out of it and that type of a thing, but also, I just remember growing up an inch, and sort of telling this man, you're on our set. And I appreciate you, but I can't allow you to, to queer our judgment and what we do here. And that's
beat it out of me.
To beat it, we're not going to do it.
Beat something to death, so to speak.
Yeah.
And like she said, with woo woo woo, I am the Maverick. I mean, that thing comes out of what I called myself Erika Alexander, because I'm from Arizona. So suddenly it's in the show, and the Maverick's in the show, and there's all this other things happening. But I was like, I'm not going to redo this over and over again. I mean, there were things in life that we could, that Yvette could pull through, and we could do them. But I also remember as a performer, growing up, and starting to have a say.
I was about to say, that sounds like a pivotal moment in your career where you found your voice in a way that maybe it was fear, maybe it was, I don't know, intimidation, maybe it was you just wanted to kind of like, all right, I want to stay, I don't want to be viewed as a certain way, as we know that a lot of Black women will get that title, that tag, like, oh, she's angry, she's difficult.
Always.
But to really find your voice, was it like that, on set creatively, where even after that moment, where you may have felt like, okay, I'm going to speak up?
There were times when it was like that. But again, we're also growing up. Like, you're pushing up against something that you don't, I mean, look, these things happen in college. I didn't go to college like that, so you often can have those little battles and, at safe, secluded spaces.
Yeah.
Go up against a professor, whatever.
Yeah.
This was our place to matriculate. And that's what you're also doing, is finding that you have a voice and that you have a say. I'm not just a puppet. I'm not a tool in someone's toolbox. I'm a performer, and I know what I need and don't need. And you can, as you say, just beat it to death. But sometimes you're like, I don't need that. And in fact, if I allow that to happen, I'll be upset, and I won't be in the mindset for comedy. And so whenever I see that I actually avoid it, because that it just brings back that feeling of anxiety. But that's because I was going up against somebody who was very well respected, and I had to tell him no, and it went totally fine.
Now, was it like that for both of you? Because Kim, the furthest I can remember back, and I know you've had such a long career, but I was just, forgive me for using this as an example, but this is where I grew to know and love you, when you were on In Living Color, and Erika, cousin Pam, okay, one of the Cosby Show, and to grow up in a sense creatively and as an actor in your own right. Do you feel like there were moments during that time where you may have wanted to speak up or say something? Or, maybe you were just kind of getting started and learning how the industry moved. Was there any moment that you felt like, I should have said something, or I learned my lesson in that?
I'll say at In Living Color, because the structure of the show and the politics of the show were very different than what we had. What we had at Living Single was more cooperative. In Living Color was a sketch comedy show. It was very, I would say, even male-dominated, which most sketch comedy shows are. That's just how it is. And it's also very competitive. So your job is to sort of perform and show the boss what you got. You also have to align with writers who are beloved and he wants to get their sketches on, and you have to hope that they want to write for you. So there's a lot more of a dance that you have to do, and positioning and politicking that I didn't know how to do. I was a stand-up comedian, and I know how to politic that stage because it's just me and the audience. I didn't know that there were things I would need to do and make sure I'm seen, and stand out the loudest and be the whatever it took to stand out through the competition. So if I had known that, if I had known that I would have to just exercise a different muscle of competition, maybe I would have done differently or done better, but that's not my way. My way is not competitive. My way is more collaboration, more to play in that way. Yeah. So I would say that I'm glad that I had that experience. I can go like, this is not the most, what's the word I'm looking for, the most conducive to my own personal spirit. However, one thing I learned there that I have taken other places is if I've got a take in me that is an ad lib, that is a special take on something, I will save it for the show. I don't do it in rehearsal so they can tell me no. And you'd be surprised how often they go, just do it as written, not at Living Single, but do it as, maybe a couple of times, do it as it's written on the page. And so I've learned to save the take for Kim.
Save the take.
Save the take. Put that on a t-shirt. Save the take.
Yeah.
And I recently did this. I'm on on a show on Disney right now. It's a show with kids. It's this whole other, I'm number 6 on the call sheet, which is fabulous because I don't have to memorize all the lines. But I taught the kids, I didn't realize I was teaching them, I would save something just for them, and then they would break up and laugh and go like, Miss Kim, what did you do? Did you mean to do that cough? I was like, yes, that was purposeful. Okay, thank you. Save something just for you, because they may use it on the show, they may not. I give the producers what the producers want, give Caesar what Caesar wants, and then save something just for you that they can then have and do with what they will. So.
Yeah, I love that.
And I didn't play that on Cosby Show. I did whatever they told me.
Certain places you can't do that. I know where to do that. No, you don't. No, you can't do that everywhere.
And I was absolutely not. And guess what? Did not know what I was doing at the time. Was new to the idea of sitcom is very different from anything I'd done before. It has an audience and it has cameras. So I was confused most of the time I was there.
Wow.
To me, by the time I got to Living Single, my brain had sort of went, and then I knew.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I know how to play this. I just didn't understand it. But, sometimes you need time. But absolutely, I was very happy to have the example of all those brilliant children.
Yeah.
Love to the great Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was an example for us all. He's younger than me by a year, but he was playing older than Pam.
Yeah.
And so in a way, I always, in his mind, kind of fit that model.
Like my baby cousin.
Like a baby cousin.
Yeah.
And so they were brilliant at it, and I was happy for the example. And at those times, you need to shut up and listen. And it was wonderful because they gave me a whole posse to play with Karen Molina White and Alan Payne, and that was something that I felt more like we were all sort of in the same boat. But with them, I felt like I'm totally out of my, what is
Really?
it? Yeah, I'm out of my rank.
Because you came in from theater because of that? Or
No, because I didn't know sitcom. And I came in from film, television, and theater, but not sitcom, which was different.
I was about to
It's a
say,
different
what's the
animal.
biggest difference, because a lot of people are like, oh, do you love doing films? Do you love theater? Because, theater is, I feel, that is the most, not nerve-wracking, but professional, where you're in front of a live audience. I mean, of course you're in front of a live audience in sitcom, but you're rehearsing lines, and this is the moment. It's not a stop, cut, we're going to do it again. All right, do that line again. This is no, this is the moment right here. And so now you're going into a sitcom where, some of these actors have been doing it for years and years, or they already have their flow. So how was it different for you in adjusting?
It was a big difference. I mean, for one thing, it's not. There's no, of course. I mean, it takes time to figure out where you are when you're performing whatever theater, film, and all that.
You do, yeah.
It's a different platform. There's even voice wise, you need less. Like if I'm in film, I move very little. I don't need to. I'm projecting through my feelings and thoughts. I'm not moving as much, whereas in theater, back row, they've got to see it, and you're projecting and you're pushing through your diaphragm, all sorts of things. And then this is sort of a happy medium. They don't have us mic'd like that. They have mics all around us. And yet that is in front of a live audience. But the audience is actually working with you. They're not just watching. They're working with you, and the cameras have to see what you do. So, I mean, Kim knows that. I mean, it's like a rhythm.
Yeah.
And you have to be in it. And if you work against it or you try to be greedy, it won't work for you. You look greedy. You have to just be there and allow yourself to flow in it, but also know that you're on all the time and that the audience is there and they can see things. They are laughing sometime at things the camera hasn't shown because this side of the audience is seeing you, but the back side can't yet. So you're listening for their laughter, and they're telling you where the jokes are or where they aren't. Sometimes you're surprised where they laugh. It's so, and it's an amazing art form, but it takes all your senses, and you have to be incredibly generous. And if you do it right, you're rewarded well.
And this is why we have real actors who go into this. And when you have someone that may not be as trained or may not be, it's like y'all don't understand the work that goes into
one of the reasons
this.
Also, all of this that she just described is why
Yeah.
I don't like doing sitcoms that don't have an audience. They're not my favorite, I would say.
Yes,
They're not
Okay.
my
You
favorite.
mentioned that.
Do you
So-
feed off of that energy?
Right. So this show that I just finished doing, they're kids. Some of them are relatively new, and I think that they don't think that they're ready for an audience yet. And also, we had lots of special effects, and it just was going to be. It's shot more like a film.
Yeah.
A lot of stop and start. We were really doing a play. We would do a whole scene from start to finish. So it's almost like we were doing a play. Each scene that we did, and so
It was a play a week.
Yeah, and a play a week.
A play a week.
And a play in the moment, and all those things all at once. And if you can master that, It's to me the best.
You can do
of all
anything.
worlds. It's the best of all worlds.
Felicia and Rashad and I did a play after that together, and we were off Broadway. And literally, I think that, I'll be honest, they thought that I was the lead. It was my first lead in an off-Broadway play, and I just had this feeling that people were like afraid of what I was doing, and I kept getting this feedback, and whatever, and I don't know, and it was weird. And at the opening night party, one of the executives came and said, "We didn't think you could do it." I said, "What does that mean?" Well, coming from TV.
Oh,
And I looked at them and I said, well, for one thing, I grew up in the public theater, which is where we were. But the other thing is you don't know my training. I appreciate all of those people who went to school, whether it was Yale, Juilliard. That's not my training. I was discovered off the street. You don't necessarily need training, but you do need to be trained inside of even the work. But it hadn't occurred to me that's what they were thinking. And yet, if you gave me and Felicia a change that moment, it was incorporated immediately. Whereas with our other, our co-stars in the play, it would take them sometime days. Yeah. And we would just be looking at them like, what?
There's less respect for the TV sitcom format.
It's nuts.
Wow.
Most people will not be able to do it. And most people cannot do it. Trained or not. And that's real.
And so that's why...
Ding, 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 ding.
And that's real. And that's what we love about
And that's real. I guess she has spoken. Erika, that's the t-shirt. And that's real.
And that's real.
So shall it be spoken.
So shall it be written. So shall it be done. You will not kill my son.
You would not kill him.
I love quoting the Ten Commandments of
You would have been
Moses.
great.
Moses, you will not kill my son. And Yul Brenner with his sexy self. Okay, moving on. Sorry.
No, because... Listen, I thought it was. I'm not even going to tell you.
You're not going to tell us what you thought it was?
I thought it was. The Lion King.
Okay, close, very close.
You know what? They were probably taken from Yul Brenner.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so now with Reliving Single, like just hearing you both talk about behind the scenes and little things like that, that's why this podcast is such a big deal. Why did you think this moment right now was the perfect time to bring us into your world, into what we, as my cousin says, oh my gosh, you're talking, let them know this is my comfort show. I watch it every night before bed. Nice. So I hear that a lot, that this is my comfort show. So is that why, did you guys feel like this is the perfect moment to put this project out?
I think, Erika, don't get mad at me when I say, I've always been open to doing a reboot. Not everybody was open to doing a reboot. Somebody spent a couple of years going, come on, girl, come on, we should do this.
Wait a minute.
It has to be all of us. And it's all of us or none of us. Yeah. And somebody was like, I like to go forward. I don't like to go back. I never told you this. My grandmother had a phrase. She called it I'm with the Go Forward program. I'm with the Go Forward program. Okay? An educated woman, she's from North Carolina. We're about to do this Go Forward. And so you were with the Go Forward program. And so she didn't necessarily want to go back. And I think you didn't want to go back, but you were like, wait a minute, we can go back in a completely different way. So I'll let you talk about it.
No, I mean, it was 30 years and people had been, suggesting that there was should be a reboot. And it wasn't just me.
No.
It wasn't coming together the way it needed to.
Right.
Yeah. I thought, but I can say, yeah, sure, it wasn't necessarily something I was interested in. I'm interested in acting with. I kept saying, why can't we all just get together and do a new show?
Right.
Like, that would be cool.
It's not y'all. It's not the material. But let's do something.
Yeah, like
new.
Shake it up and see what happens. Right. That would be cool. And then the opportunity came from Heartbeat, we'd been working with. Color Farm Media is my company. Me and Ben Arnon are partners there, and we'd had some success with some audio series, and were asked whether we wanted to do a rewatch show. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I thought, no, not really. And then I thought, wait a minute, come on, Erika. This is a way to talk about all the years that you have not been on that show, the learnings, the performance, the industry, all the things that people ask you about all the time and you wish were somewhere where they could refer to them as a template or a blueprint of what the industry has to offer, and put it around something that's very popular. And that's a gift. So sometimes you have to stop saying no and see the yes inside of it. And I saw the yes inside of it, the invitation or maybe the opportunity to work with, the great Kim Coles is always, an upside. And she said yes.
Yeah.
I said yes. I'm here for it. And we are. I'll speak for myself. I've been pleasantly surprised. I mean, I knew it was going to be great because I'd be knowing things. Well, I have an inner knowing that I don't tell people. I'm just going to come out as an empath. I'm going to come out. I'm coming out as an empath. Not an empath, an empath.
A path.
I'm empathic. But also pleasantly surprised at how much could be revealed, how there's really no limits except the amount of time that Heartbeat gives us to shoot that particular day. And we go over a lot because there's so much to discover newly about each other, so much to discover newly about our feelings about the show in particular. A new working relationship, which can be interesting at times. There, I've said it. But we've made a pact and a commitment to, what Erika and I have in common is, integrity and honesty, and our parents are so very similar. So there's so many beautiful similarities that why wouldn't this work? Why wouldn't sitting in a studio with you with some lashes on be really a nice experience? We're going to have the lashes on.
Oh, for sure.
No, I love it. And I love the concept. My friends and I have discussed episodes and broke down episodes because, when we watched it in the 90s, we were a little younger. And so now it hits different as we have gotten older, okay? Like the relationship between Kyle and Max. And when she first started having feelings for him and trying to fight it. And even the episode where you were supposed to take the pregnancy test, not you, but Max. We're supposed to take the pregnancy test, and you guys were trying to get her to, she said elevator music made her want to go to the restroom. And it's like, do, 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 do.
That's funny. I don't even remember that.
Yes. So see, like different episodes hit people in a different way. And one thing that I do, before we start wrapping it up, one thing that I did want to know about, well, first of all, Living Single was ahead of its time. We know that. The guests that were on there.
Please.
My gosh, the special guests, the people that, we know and love. Do you guys have any of the best memories? I'm sorry. That's what I was going to ask you guys. Who are the best guests that favorites? You have had on there? Well, I love when Naughty by Nature was there because, Regine, and it was like, it felt real. Like, y'all really grew up. Oh, and Queen Latifah, of course, and everything. And one of my favorite, he was a recurring role, but Heavy D, we all know and love.
Couldn't be sweeter.
Love Heavy D. Yes.
Give you little snuggles. You just snuggle your face and like
yes.
you like a little
very
teddy
serious
bear.
actor.
Yeah.
And it showed. Mm-hmm. And I also loved when Queen Latifah and Kim Fields, their moms, made guest appearances.
True.
And then Overton's Miss Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight is your mother.
Is your mother.
And Ron O'Neal. Ron O'Neal. Superfly.
Ron O'Neal was my dad. Nicholas. We had Antonio Fargas.
Yeah.
And Gladys Knight. That they said yes to us?
Yeah, so there were some iconic
Eartha Kitt.
Oh my gosh. Moments
Holyfield. There was so many wonderful.
Didn't Deion Sanders come through? TLC and
Deion Sanders literally came through. They tossed a football. He caught it and kept walking. Kept running out.
He did.
Yeah. And even Rosie O'Donnell and Isabel Sanford, Wheezy,
Willis from the Jeffersons.
Yeah. What is the man?
I don't know.
The man who played Mr. Willis.
Mr. Willis on
the Jeffersons.
And Jeanette Dubois.
Yes.
from
Flip
Three's
Wilson.
Company. Flip Wilson. We actually will do that episode in this season.
Yeah.
And he was great. We talk about female impersonation. We talk about the art of that as comedy and the types of people he put down in his show.
Yeah.
The power of Flip Wilson. People who don't know need to know. We need to know this. America needs to remember who built this culture. That's what it gets. You can go wide and deep, but you also can give flowers. You can also say why they're relevant and how they built in our DNA.
Yeah.
This is important.
And this show was so important to many of us. And I will tell you the biggest moment, one of the biggest moments, because there were a lot of big moments, throughout the series. But one of the biggest moments that I can remember is when everyone was trying to date Morris Chestnut. And let me tell you something. He was the new neighbor.
You want to talk
the
to
new
her about
neighbor.
why that was?
And why I feel it was so iconic was because we were able to choose. I remember we were, as the watchers, we were able to vote who would get to go on the date with Morris Chestnut. And I just remember it being so interactive with the audience. And at the end of that episode, Queen Latifah, Khadijah was like, y'all did this to me.
Yeah, exactly.
She kind of looked at the camera and was like, y'all did this to me.
Yeah.
Can we give you a different perspective on that too?
Sure.
So first of all, Sinclair was with Overton.
Sinclair was with
part
Overton.
of the competition. But talk about Erika. There's another perspective we want you to look at.
Okay.
Will you talk about it?
Well, no, just that. Listen, it's Mo Nut. That's what we call it, Mo Nut. It's chocolatey delicious and sweet as pie.
Yeah.
But look at what we were saying about the culture, that you've got three powerful, smart, beautiful women all vying for one guy.
One guy.
And that's what the show was about. That particular episode was about. And so it could be looked at through the lens of that perspective, that it's actually, if we're just having fun, we're just having fun. But also, what does that say about that story that we're telling? That these women who each could have anyone, and anyone would be lucky and blessed to be with them, that it would be that desperate.
I was actually miserable that week.
Yeah.
I thought, are you kidding?
Not because he's not yummy and sweet.
No.
Easy to work with.
I think it was an interactive of having the audience choose. But again, I was young back then.
You're looking at it now, but we were too.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where it sort of bump up against just my thing of wait a minute, why we need to be chasing like this? If he can't make a choice between us, then it is what it is. I mean, it just seemed. Look, it was fun TV. It's like smell-o-vision. You scratch it, and then it's popcorn. Yes. Oh, no, it's jujubes. No. It's Morris Chestnut. It's Old Spice. I mean, I literally just thought there's no way. So I was actually grateful when the audience did not choose Max.
Who was chosen?
Khadijah
was. And then and they made it fun. I just thought, to me, I thought... Please,
ain't nobody fighting over it.
I'm so glad y'all gave a different perspective.
Just another perspective. And not to take anything away from that moment or the joy of that and the pure fun of what it is.
Yeah.
And look at it through the lensing of three women.
And I'm sure they were just trying things out to see what worked. I mean, it's a dating series.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, enough. When are we going to not talk about dating? And I realized the whole thing is about dating.
We're 20-something.
Was about
have stuff tucked up in there, but it was about dating, and I just honestly over and over again didn't think that I wanted. Forget Max. That's when Erika shows up and starts just if this is what we're going to be doing, then I can't even see that I can play this authentically.
Okay. All right. Listen, I can talk about so many episodes.
Ain't no burst, no bubbles.
Hopefully a bubble wasn't burst.
No. Because I still hold that. I still remember we gotta vote and see which one is gonna go on the date. And like you said, it was fun TV. But hearing your perspective, it is it doesn't go unnoticed. These women could have anyone they wanted. And they're fighting over the new guy, but it was TV.
I just wish if they just one thing that Yvette might have done, Yvette Lee Bowser's, just made it a bet made it a competition.
Yeah.
Then I'd have been like, oh.
It was a competition, though, wasn't it? Because the audience voted.
But for the characters, like I bet I can, like between.
That's just as bad, isn't it? I bet you I could I bet you I could snag him.
Men do that all the time, where they'd be like, I bet you I can get her to do that. It would have been great for us to be the ones.
So in control.
Yeah, in control, as opposed to this is my moves I'm putting on him. But we were desperately trying to get him to choose us. That to me was the no.
Okay.
But you know what? We had fun.
Yeah. Well, that's
and he's easy on the eyes.
all that to say.
Yes.
We had fun doing it.
Yeah.
All right. So before you guys, let me just say this one moment because, Kim, when Sinclair was always infatuated and loved Overton. And so we always knew, like, that's her man. Y'all not going to play with
I know what
Overton.
you're gonna say.
But the one moment, no, you don't. I bet you don't know what I'm going to say.
Go.
The one moment that I loved for you two as characters is when y'all finally were in bed and you said, "Take the hat off, Daddy. I want you naked."
I wasn't thinking that moment, and thank you. Take your hat off, Daddy. I want you naked. I wasn't thinking about that moment, and thank you for that. And I always say that to kiss John Hinton and get paid for it was a real easy job. So thank you. Wow.
That was such a moment because Sinclair is not that. She wasn't. That type in the sense of spiciness and things like that. So that was that one moment. It's like, okay, Sinclair.
Sinclair was a straight Jezebel. She got to hide behind, I'm just from Minnesota.
Yeah.
But you were.
You always talk about how when we would break off kissing, I would always be smacking my lips like,
Smacking.
that's good eating right there. Yes, sir.
I love that.
Thank you,
let's play a little game.
Oh,
this is a little game before you get out of here. Mm-hmm. Now, we're talking about 90s sitcoms, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're going to play a little game of Who Said That? Okay. I'm going to give you some lyrics to some theme songs.
I'm back.
Okay?
I'm back.
And you just have to tell me the name of the show.
Okay.
I think this first one is going to be super, super easy for you. Okay? Here we go. Here's our chance to make it. And if we focus on our goal, you can dish it. We can take it.
There's our chance to make it. And you get to make it. You get we're going to make it after all.
No.
We're going to make it after all.
It's either Mary Tyler Moore or Different World.
It was a different world.
But I didn't.
That's what are you talking about? That wasn't.
You know what? Sounded just like Mary Tyler Moore.
It sounded just like Mary Tyler Moore. I'm sorry.
But the lyrics
was so impressed.
The lyrics sounded really too. But it
did.
They did. Yeah.
It's you, girl, and you should know it.
Right,
So
right.
sorry.
Right.
Well, you.
And
All
Charles
right.
with that.
Okay.
I'm back in this century.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. There's no place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone. When you know that you're loved, you don't need to roam.
Family matters.
Family matters.
Because there ain't no place like that, I believe it. There ain't no place like Mary.
Oh, 227.
Okay, 227.
It was too Mary.
Right. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Lord.
I know. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
No.
This is a super hard one.
We have to get back our black card.
Here we go.
Please. Sorry.
Keep your head up. What? Keep your head up. That's what.
on.
No, I'm kidding.
Whenever life gets tough, you got to fight with my homegirls standing to my left and my right.
I knew it was going to be.
Tight like glue.
No, I know. Okay, here's a real one. Okay, here we go. It's a rare condition in this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition.
That's Family Matters.
That is Family Matters. This day and age to read any good news on a newspaper page.
Newspaper page. Ain't we lucky we got them? Good times. Okay.
I love the mashup.
Okay.
You got anything I know?
Fish don't fry in the kitchen.
Oh, God.
beans
Come
don't
on,
burn.
Jeffersons. Come on, stop playing. Now you doing my stuff.
Yeah.
Good times. Jeanette Dubois, right?
No, that's Jefferson.
Fish don't fry in the kitchen. Oh, she sang the song. Okay, just move
Yeah,
on.
no, that was it.
I'm sorry. Fish don't fry in the kitchen.
The beans don't burn on the grill.
Oh yeah, you're right.
To the top.
What was the name of the
on
actor
now.
on the show? He came on our show and we took him to lunch.
Fred Willis?
Tom
Willis. He played Tom
Tom Willis. Yes.
He
You
was-
and I.
He was wonderful.
And what happened?
wonderful.
Oh, okay.
He was hilarious.
He just told us some contract issues that he had back in the day, and Erika and I looked at him as if to say, "Oh, we wouldn't get out of bed for that money." It was like, how much were they paying you?
Making
$1,000-$3,000 an episode.
We
Like, what?
couldn't believe it.
But at that time,
We were like,
at that time, it was a significant amount of money, right?
Of course it was.
Was it? I don't know.
We found out that the kids on Different Strokes were making $6,000 an episode. And we were like, wow, they're really doing well. We were like, sir, I still wouldn't get out of bed. And he was lovely. He fell in love with us
great.
because we took him to lunch. And the lunch was in the same buffet everybody else get. But and I'll say this now. One of my favorite things about Living Single that no one will ever know behind the scenes is that there were 6 of us on the 6 main characters, but every week we got these special guest stars, and every week one of us would take our guest stars sort of, by the hand and make sure that they, knew where their trailer was, even though there was staff to do that, and take them to lunch or show them things or, say, come on to the set and sit with me. Like we each hosted our guest stars. And I think one of my favorite moments is Joyce DeWitt, who had been on, one of the biggest shows of all time, Three's Company, actually announced to the audience, this is the most fun I've ever had on a set. Because John was loving her, like, you look good today, girl, come on, and loving on her. And so she felt loved. And so we loved each other, and we loved on the people who came to visit too.
Yeah. And we love you guys so
Thank you.
much. And, thank you for doing this. Thank you for taking us behind the scenes. I'm so happy to have you here. And just let everyone know where they can check out the podcast, when the podcast tour is coming. Yep, I'm speaking it right now.
Okay.
And
32 cities.
I know we're going to stop up because we just came from Michelle
Maybe 33
Obama
to break
talking
her
about doing 32 cities on her book tour. So we've decided to best her and do 33. Will
30.
Vic Jagger invite us back?
of course.
The answer is yes.
on,
Of
All
course.
right.
I'm going on
So
tour
thank
with y'all,
you.
okay?
Thank you.
I can get the crowd ready for y'all
Yes.
to come out.
Thank
Just let
you.
me know.
Yes.
No.
Get it at
At Reliving Single Podcast, everywhere that podcasts air. I always recommend that people go to YouTube because you get to see us, but we're right there on Spotify and Apple and all the places. So Reliving Single Podcast.
Yes, Chemicals, Erika Alexander.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. You are two living legends, and we love you and we appreciate you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Vic.
Thank
Love you
Vic.
back.